It's time for Tailgate Talk with Rodney Washington for the best football insight to get you right. Brought to you by Jimmy's Hot Dogs.
Hello, my fellow Tailgate Talkers. We are at week 8 of Tailgate Talk. As you clearly can see, I'm in Leesburg at this beautiful field with Coach Fabrizio. How you doing, Coach?
Great. Appreciate y'all coming out here.
I appreciate it, Coach. So normally I'll ask you, game of the week. This is your second time on, but I kind of want to, talk about, the pressing issue. Have you, your team, and your family been, since the hurricane, kind of passed through?
We were very fortunate that the hurricane, it looked like we were going to get hit really bad, and it veered off. So we got a little bit of damage in the area, but we were blessed to not get the what a lot of other people got. Our prayers go out to those affected by the hurricane. We know as well as anybody what that's like to go through in the middle of the season. In 2018, Michael came through and devastated this community in Lee County, and that's something. So we understand what that's like. That hit right in the middle of the football season, and we understand what people are going through better than as well as anybody because we've been through it.
Right, Coach. So I kind of want to talk about that too. In 2018, the hurricane hit. So how did that affect your weekend scheduling and the game and all that, if you can remember that?
Well, it was tough. The hurricane hit on a Tuesday. We didn't have any power or anything the rest of the week. No school because of the situation. We had to, the game. We bumped it back to Saturday, one day, and we had to round all the kids up and track them all down as many as we could. We rounded them up Friday. Got them together and played Saturday. There's no place to eat in town. We had to take them out of town to eat. But we were able to overcome that. Fortunately, we had a great bunch of kids in 2018, and it was very, very tough. Obviously missing practice almost a whole week and still having to play a game, that week like we did. And then next week we were back on schedule and had to play another game. But it was something our kids pushed through. We ended up winning the state championship in 2018. But that was very, very trying and a very tough time. So I understand what these other people are going through. And I'm glad GHSA's made some concessions with pushing the playoffs back a week and allowing people some different opportunities to make up games, because that was extremely difficult on us with no power or anything or no school that whole week. Very little cell service in the area, trying to track our kids down and get them up here and on Friday to be able to play the game on Saturday.
All right, Coach. And I got to say kudos. You seemed very resilient that year in 2018. But how's practice been for you this week?
Well, we've had a good week of practice. Coming off a big game. That we knew this stretch of schedule. I saw somewhere early in the season someone had our schedule ranked as the second toughest in the state of Georgia, and this is certainly the tough part of it. To have to go play Moultrie and Moultrie, turn around and play Wekiva out of Florida, and then 2 defending state champs in back-to-back weeks in TCC, and then Coffee. Everybody said we're kind of crazy for that schedule, but here we are almost through that part of the schedule and have come out with some big wins, obviously over a great Colquitt County team. Sean Calhoun does a great job there. To beat them in Moultrie is an unbelievable accomplishment. And then, Justin Rogers and TCC, I can't say enough about their program, their fan base. So even moving that game to Saturday afternoon, it was just a great crowd here and was a great high school football game, and we were fortunate to come out on top.
Right on, Coach. So I know you've been coaching here for a while, and you've been around a lot of talented players. At this point of the season, this one, you think one of the best teams, that you've ever coached?
Well, that's to be determined still. It's a very talented team we've got this year. We've got a lot of tough players. They've been very committed. The way they come to practice every day has been extremely impressive. We always talk about here is the guys that came before them and the standard that they set. When they leave, the group that comes after them, the seniors, they want to keep that standard, and they learn from the guys that came before them. This group learned from the Barron Hobsons and the Chauncey Magwoods and the Juju McDowells and groups like that, and it's kind of their turn to step up and do their thing. And so we've got a really good group, a very talented group. Of course, you've got Nusmani Chroma, who's one of the most decorated players in probably the state of Georgia's history by the time he's done. Weston Bryan, who's playing sensational football, and just numerous others. We feel like we've got a good football team, but we've got a lot of football left to play. So it'll be determined how this team's winds up in Lee County lore, I guess.
I also want to give a big love to my sponsor, Jimmy Hot Dogs, who actually have a location here in Leesburg and the other one in Albany too, right by the Civic Center. Appreciate you for that, Coach. And I got to give you the Jimmy's question of the day. What do you see from Coffee on film that just sticks out to you?
Well, the first thing is they've won 21 games in a row, so they're playing with a lot of confidence. They're well coached. They play hard-nosed football. They're very good on defense. They're really good at running the ball. And it's like we talked about last week with TCC. When you got a team coming in that's won over 20 games in a row and they're defending state champ, they're going to come in and play with a lot of confidence. And you've got to match their execution level and be ready to play hard the whole game. And it's the same thing here versus Coffee. We've been in plenty of big games. This is going to be another big one. That's why we play a tough schedule, so we're prepared for games like this. Like I said, they've got a good football team. They're playing. When you've won that many games in a row, you're playing with a lot of confidence.
Right. I was having a conversation with one of my buddies, and they know the teams here, and he said this game is bigger than Alabama and Georgia. That's what he told me. So, do you see this game as just another week, or do you feel the intensity of the matchup of this game coming?
It's a big game, but you've got to realize we opened the season playing Warner Robins, which is a monster game. They've been in 5 of the last or 6 state championship games in their division. We played Colquitt County and Moultrie, which is just a huge game and a tremendous crowd. Then we turn around and play TCC here, coming off riding I think a 25 game regular season win streak, a 20 game win streak overall. So it's, we've been in big games, and this is just it's I don't want to say par for the course, but it's just another big game coming up for us. And but it is a big one, no doubt, and it'll be a big deal. We haven't played Coffee in a while. Unfortunately, they haven't played us since our schedule, since we switched regions with them. Now they're back in with us, so it'll be nice to resume this rivalry. Of course, the big game, we played them in 2017 here in a region rematch for the state championship. So, they've got a great program. Robbie Pruitt did a tremendous job there when he was coach there, and Coach Coase continued that.
Right on, Coach. And I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be a big time matchup, but I got to give you a tailgate question. I'm not going to ask you, favorite tailgate, nothing like that. I kind of want to give you a personal, give me one of your favorite tailgating stories, Coach.
I don't get to tailgate a whole lot because I'm busy preparing for next week's game. So I don't know if I have any tailgating stories for you. Unfortunately, that's one of the things when you're coaching high school football.
Back in the day, back in the day stories, Coach.
No, I don't have any I can tell you, and definitely none on camera. So, I'm just kidding. Definitely nothing there. No, I'm one, I love college football, and that's one of my kind of getaways after we come in on Saturdays and put in some work in the morning, and then I kind of get away from it and relax that late afternoon and evening, and watch some college football and kind of get away, and then it's back to work Sunday, and that's just that's life all high school football coaches.
Right on, Coach. So my fellow tailgate talkers is going to be I'm going to call this the Trojan Bowl. Lead Trojans, Coffee Trojans, Coach Fabrizio. Thank you so much for everything.
Brought to you by Jimmy's Hot Dogs.